Now, budgets at their best bring together the global and the local. And on this occasion, there is almost no distinction between the two things. So I wanted to begin with a bit of a confession. I was in two minds about heading to DC less than a fortnight from the budget. But I'm pleased that I went because I benefited so much, I think, from the opportunity to spend 2.5 very long but very valuable days there, talking with my G20 counterparts and the heads of central banks, the IMF, the World Bank, and some of the world's biggest investment houses. Now, the big lesson was that you have to get the monetary policy and the fiscal policy working together and not at cross purposes. And I'm confident in that regard that we got things lined up pretty nicely last night. But of all of the value that I got from that trip, I think one contribution stands out in particular from a guy called Tharman Shanmugaratnam. He is a Singaporean minister. He's a long-standing friend of Australia and many people in the room here. And he made 3 main points that I wanted to share with you because I think his prognosis fits our circumstances pretty well, and it's a pretty pithy way of describing them, in my view. And his diagnosis was basically this. First, the world is increasingly marked by fragility and vulnerability in our communities, our economies, our budgets, our energy markets, our international relationships, and our politics as well. That's the first point. Second point, these vulnerabilities have all been made worse in one way or another by underinvestment and complacency over a number of years, and not just because of the pandemic. And this is what I refer to in our context as the wasted decade that we've had here. And his third point is that our task should go beyond managing what the economists call counter-cyclical fiscal policy. Instead, it's to redirect spending towards quality investments in the capabilities of our people and the capacity of our economies. So I think that's a pretty neat summary of the 3 things that really underpinned our thinking as we finalised yesterday's budget.